So it is said, liquor, meat, and onions are to be avoided, Mahamate, by the bodhisattvas and those who are victor heroes. Meat is not agreeable to the wise. It has a nauseating odor. It causes a bad reputation. It is food for the carnivorous. I say this, Mahamate, it is not to be eaten. To those who eat meat, there are detrimental effects. To those who do not, merits. Mahamate, you should know that meat eaters bring detrimental effects upon themselves. Let the yogins refrain from eating flesh, as it is born of himself, as the eating involves transgression, as flesh is produced of semen and blood, and as the killing of animals causes terror to living beings. Let the yogins always refrain from meat, onions, various kinds of liquor, allium, and garlic. Do not anoint the body with sesame oil. Do not sleep on a bed perforated with spikes. For the living beings who find their shelter in the cavities and in places where there are no cavities may be terribly frightened. From eating meat, arrogance is born. From arrogance, erroneous imaginations issue. And from imagination is born greed. And for this reason, refrain from eating meat. From imagination, greed is born. And by greed, the mind is stupefied. There is attachment to stupefaction, and there is no emancipation from birth and death. For profit, sentient beings are destroyed. For flesh, money is paid out. They are both evildoers, and the deed matures in the hells called Raurava, or screaming, etc. One who eats flesh, trespassing against the words of the Muni, is evil-minded. He is pointed out in the teachings of the Sakya as the destroyer of the welfare of the two worlds. Those evildoers go to the most horrifying hell. Meat-eaters are matured in the terrific hells, such as Raurava, etc. There is no meat to be regarded as pure in three ways: not premeditated, not asked for, and not impelled. Therefore, refrain from meat-eating. Let not the yogin eat meat. It is forbidden by myself as well as by the Buddhas. Those sentient beings who feed on one another will be reborn among the carnivorous animals. The meat-eater is ill-smelling, contemptuous, and born deprived of intelligence. He will be born again and again among the families of the Kandala, the Pukasa, and the Damba. From the womb of Dakini, he will be born in the meat-eater's family, and then into the womb of a Rakshasi and a cat. He belongs to the lowest class of men. Meat-eating is rejected by me in such sutras as the Hasikaksha, the Mahamegha, the Nirvana, the Anglimalika, and the Lankavatara. Meat-eating is condemned by the Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, and Shravakas. If one devours meat out of shamelessness, he will always be devoid of sense. One who avoids meat, etc., will be born, because of this fact, in the family of the Brahmins or of the Yogins, endowed with knowledge and wealth. Let one avoid all meat-eating, whatever they may say about witnessing, hearing, and suspecting. These theorizers, born in a carnivorous family, understand this not. As greed is the hindrance to emancipation, so are meat-eating, liquor, etc., hindrances. There may be, in time to come, people who make foolish remarks about meat-eating, saying, "Meat is proper to eat, unobjectionable, and permitted by the Buddha." Follow the proper measure and be averse to meat. Meat-eating is forbidden by me everywhere and all the time for those who are abiding in compassion. He who eats meat will be born in the same place as the lion, tiger, wolf, etc. Therefore, do not eat meat which will cause terror among people, because it hinders the truth of emancipation. Not to eat meat, this is the mark of the wise. Here ends the 8th chapter on meat-eating from the Lankavatara